Hello everybody, if you are part of the family, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. For today's video, I'm going to show you guys my full foundation routine and what I do to achieve this flawless looking skin. I've had quite a few of you guys ask me to do a video like this showing you guys how I apply my foundation and all that good stuff. I do have a separate video where I show you guys how I apply my concealer and all that good stuff and all that jazz, so I will link that video below so you guys can check it out. But this is literally just my foundation and just foundations that I have been loving lately and how to apply them, okay? So this is how me today in April 2018 I like applying my foundation. This is something that honestly I tweak and I change here and there sometimes depending how I like to apply it, depending how my skin is acting up, if it's too oily, if it's too dry, etc. But this is how I've been liking how to do my foundation lately. Also foundations themselves. I go through periods where I love one, it's totally working, and then I go through and I switch over to another one because that one's the one that's working. It's a never-ending, you know what I'm saying, cycle, and like we're always trying new things. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I go into detail about how I apply my foundation and all that jazz. So if you want to see how I do that, just stay tuned. Alright guys, so let's get started. First things first, I gotta put on my little headband here so my hair doesn't get in my way. I have already done my eyebrows. There we go. I've already done my eyebrows. Now I gotta do my face. First thing that you do, your face has to be clean, washed with no leftover makeup from the day before. Use a nice cleanser, and then you want to moisturize your face. That would be for another video. I can show you guys how I wipe my face, how I clean my face, what moisturizer I use, and all that good stuff, okay? So after you apply moisturizer, next thing is priming your face, okay? Now, I'm going to show you two primers that I have been using lately, and one is a high-end and one is a drugstore, okay? So the drugstore is the Stay Matte. I think I've shared this with you guys before. Stay Matte Mattifying Makeup Primer, and this is by Rimmel. This I believe costs like $7 at like Target or Walmart. And then the high-end one is a Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer by Too Faced. This is what it looks like. I have yet to notice a difference between this one and this one, to be honest with you. And this one costs $7 and this one costs a lot of money. So I still have my receipt, and if I have yet to see a difference, if I don't end up seeing a difference, I might just return it. It's supposed to mattify my face. I really do not see that much of a difference, but whatever, let's get to it. Just for just keep, you know, the trial's sake, let's do the Prime and the Peach Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. And it has a little pump. So put some, whoops, just about that much. I'm really zoomed in so you can see all my sunspots, all my redness, and all that jazz. Just kind of let it sit there. Now we're going to pat it down, that way it kind of melts more into the skin and your skin really absorbs it. Now what does a primer do? A primer preps the skin so that the foundation can last longer, okay? It's supposed to kind of stick to the foundation so it lasts the whole day. And if it's a mattifying primer, it helps so your foundation looks more matte and less shiny. It's supposed to control oil. There's some primers who are illuminizing, hydrating primers, which will, if anything, give moisture, and the contrast would give moisture to your face, and that would be for somebody who has like dry skin, okay? I have oily skin, so I do not like hydrating or moisturizing foundation primers. I like mattifying primers. That's why the Stay Matte from Rimmel is a matte one, and the one from Peach's Too Faced, the Primed and Peachy, is matte, okay? I have yet to see a difference. I mean, these do control my oil, but not 100%. They'll control them like maybe 50-60%. But even if I wear these, even the high-end one, towards the end of the day, I still have to blot my face and get the oil out and re-powder so I don't look as shiny. All right, next let's talk foundation. So there is 3 foundations that I have been using lately. 2 that I like a lot and 1 that I love, okay? The 2 that I have been liking a lot, that I've been using more often, is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, and I am in the color C5. You can see it. Very pretty. This one I think retails for $40, and this is supposed to be a waterproof, long-wearing liquid foundation, full coverage, matte finish, oil-free. So look at all that claim. It is good. It does last all day, but I can still see my oil peeking through it within, you know, like 3 or 4 hours of me using it. And when I put on foundation, I like putting full coverage foundation in the morning, even if I think I'm going to be home all day or I'm going to just run some errands, because I feel like the same effort that I put in to just put a powder or just like a BB cream or something light is the same time that I would use to just put a full foundation, and that full coverage foundation, and that way it just lasts the whole day. I don't have to like keep reapplying it. A powder and like a BB cream, I totally have to reapply throughout the day, or just powder because obviously it's faded. But the same efforts that I do to apply those products to have a light coverage, I could just apply this and I do like a thin layer of this, and I can have like a full coverage with just a thin layer, and it'll last all day. So I do like this, but I still feel like my oil still peeks through. And the other one that I've been really liking as well is a drugstore one, and this is the Superstay Full Coverage Maybelline 24-hour Maybelline foundation, and this I'm in the color Warm Nude. I like this one as well. I don't think it has a matte finish. I think it has more of like a semi-matte. It's not fully matte. And just like this one, I feel like my oil still peeks through like the first few hours, and I still have to like reapply powder and blot and all that good stuff. So they do last all day, and they are full coverage. Well, my concern is just like the oil control. So these 2 I like. I think this one retails for like $10 at like Walmart or Target. These 2 I like, but my holy grail foundation would have to be this one, the Infallible Pro Matte by L'Oreal. This is the real deal. I mean, it claims to be a demi-matte, 24 hours. I don't think it lasts 24 hours, but it is absolutely matte. I mean, if I'm just home, I'll do like 1 layer. If I want like that full coverage matte, 100% matte look, I'll do like 2 layers of it, like 2 coats of this. But wow, this junk is like, you can see the matte in your face. Like if you have dry skin, this may not be for you. This is so matte that sometimes I even have to put moisturizer on my face because this will dry it out. But I love the matte look to it. Yeah, my oiliness still kind of peeks through towards the end of the day, but not as much as it would with these guys over here. So this one right here is my holy grail. I used this for like about 1.5 years, and if you see a few of my earlier tutorials and earlier makeup videos, then you see me using this one. And how we all are, we're like, okay, well, you know, I'm over here in the search for like a better one, and that's why I tried these, and I really like these, but I just kept going back to this one. There really isn't one. I don't know if you guys know of one. Please let me know that you want me to try like a super matte foundation. It's okay if it's high-end, better if it's drugstore. That's the other reason why I love this one. This is a drugstore. I could just go grab one whenever I'm like going grocery shopping. It's like 10 bucks at like Target or like Walmart. But if you guys know of one, please let me know in the comments below so I can try it out. The only thing that I can say about this foundation, and the reason why I was trying new ones, is because this one oxidizes a lot. Oxidizes means that once you apply it to the skin, it starts getting darker, okay? And I think it does that effect because it does that so that it lasts longer. It like seals into your skin, and that's why it oxidizes it, meaning gets a little darker. So the color you put right on your face is not the real color. You have to wait for a couple of minutes, and then it'll get a little darker. That's the only thing that I don't like about this foundation, but I've already found my color. It's 105. I know it goes a little lighter on my skin, but it'll go darker eventually. And yeah, so my next trick that I use for my foundation to look kind of flawless and more airbrushy has to be a beauty blender. It has to be this beauty blender, okay? Beauty Blender came out with these sponges several years ago, actually, several years ago. And at first I didn't want to try it. I saw a lot of YouTubers use this sponge, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, Like, I don't want to use that. I'm like, it's expensive. This costs like $20. And I'm like, for a sponge, are you crazy? So I tried different drugstore ones, because once they came out with these, forget it. Drugstores wanted to get in on it, so they did their own. But in my opinion, there's nothing like the Beauty Blender. We're going to apply it now. I'm going to show you. It makes your face look airbrushy, flawless. It makes your foundation literally melt into the skin and become one with your skin, so it looks more natural. The only thing that sucks is the maintenance, like cleaning it. It does come with a little soap when you buy it, a little round soap, and it cleans the heck out of it. But that soap is kind of expensive. I tried buying it and it costs like $16 on its own. I'm like, I might as well just buy another Beauty Blender. They do recommend that you change it every 6 months. Yeah, this is definitely more than 6 months old. I should get a new one. Anyways, the way that you work it is that it comes in a little package, and it's actually really, really small. It comes like maybe like that small. And then you're supposed to run it under running water and squeeze it several times. Let the water come into the sponge, squeeze it out. Let the water come into the sponge, squeeze it out until it becomes this size. And this is how you use it. So once it gets this size, then you put it into a paper towel or a towel and just squeeze the extra water out of it. And then it looks like this, and it's ready to be used. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Enough talk. So for this video, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. And this is what I do, guys. I get a little bit and I put it on my hand. That's literally the amount that I use on my whole face. This thing is pretty thick. And then what I do is that with my finger, I kind of dab it all over the face. So you can spread it out. Again, this foundation works fast. You have to work fast with this foundation because it does oxidize and it dries quickly. So it sets very quickly. So we gotta work fast. So I just put this all over my skin, put this all over my face. And then with the Beauty Blender, I use this side, the back side, not the pointy side, the back side. I go ahead and just press the foundation into my skin. And with this foundation, guys, because it oxidizes, not only do you have to work fast, but you have to make sure you blend all of it. Because if you forget to blend in one little dot, like that one, you see I have a little bit over there. If you forget it, it'll oxidize darker than the rest of your face. And that does not look pretty. And then you have to like re-wet that area. We have to like literally remove it with like a wipe and then like put some more foundation on, because once it sets, it sets. Now, super important, with whatever you have left on your sponge, see how you still have products on your sponge? You go all the way down to your neck. You do not want that line of demarcation right here where you have your foundation and then your neck. When you match your foundation, it's super important for you to match it to your neck. Not to your hand, not even to your face, to your neck, because sometimes your face and your neck have completely different colors, right? And you don't want to be like super light here and then like super dark here, or super dark here and super light here. So always try to match your foundation to your neckline, okay? So with whatever you have left over, you do here and then you go all the way down. Not with fresh product, with whatever you have left, okay? So you can blend it in well, like an ombre. Ombre, oh my word. Okay, all over. So at this point, if I want more coverage, this is like a medium coverage. You can still see some of like my blemishes and like my dark spots, dark spots, and even like a pimple that I have in here. At this point, if you want to add more coverage, by all means, do all that once again, okay? So this is what I would do like an everyday. But if I'm going to church or, you know, a night out or whatever, then I would put another layer on, okay? I am, though, going to spot conceal with my foundation certain areas that I want more coverage in, okay? So I'm just going to put a little bit more on my hand, literally, like that's it. And I'm going to use this as a concealer to put in those areas I want a little more coverage. Like over here, in my chin, and my nose, so I'm always rubbing my nose. So I want more coverage there. See? Get your Beauty Blender, start blending. Alright, so now I'm satisfied with my foundation and how it looks and the coverage that I have. Now I'm going to go on to concealing with actual concealer. I have two concealers here that I have been using. One is drugstore and one is high-end. My drugstore is a new one that I haven't shared with you guys yet. This is the Revolution Makeup Revolution by London Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour Stick or product concealer. This is what it looks like. It has like a rose gold packaging. It's very similar to the Tarte tape shape. You see the doe foot applicator. This one I believe retails for $7 at Ulta. This was $27. $20 difference. I don't think this is an actual dupe. All over YouTube people have been saying this is a dupe for this one, you should try this one. I really enjoy this one as a drugstore. The consistency and the coverage is very similar to this one. This one's still my number one. This one covers, like, it's literally full coverage. And this one, I think I can't say it covers, the coverage is just like this one. I cannot say it's a real dupe, but it comes pretty darn close. So that's why I really like this one. The color in this one is C5. And in the Tate shape, I'm a light neutral, okay? Yeah, so then what I do is, since this one is a little pricier, I use this one honestly for like special occasions, for church when we go out. But when I'm home or just running errands, I really like this guy. So right now this is my favorite drugstore concealer. And that's one thing. I feel like there's certain seasons where certain products are my favorite and they're totally working for me, and then I have seasons where they don't, or I find a better one or something that I like a little different. So literally my favorite products change throughout the year, throughout the months, you know what I'm saying? Like throughout time, products that I keep using may change, and that's okay. So like I said, this one has been a favorite of mine for like a whole year, but this one has been lately a favorite of mine for drugstore. Okay, so I have a whole video on how to conceal, how to use concealer, so I'm not going to go into detail. I will link that video below so you can see it, but right now it's going to be just a quick, you know, concealer, what I do every single day. Yeah, so what I do is that I try to put some here, because that is where like a lot of like my darkness comes in. That area is pretty dark. And then here in the bottom as well. I use this as an eyeshadow primer, so I put it on my lids, and I'm using a shade that's a couple of shades lighter than my skin tone to brighten up my under eye. Okay, next we're gonna get the beauty blender. All right, we're gonna use that tip right here, that corner. That's what we're gonna use to do our concealer. So we're gonna go ahead and just blend. Next thing that I like to do is, using that same concealer, I'm going to kind of just add some definition to my face. And this is, I mean, you don't have to do this step. I like doing it because it's a simple step, doesn't take too long, and it helps me get that definition in my face. So I'm putting it down the bridge of my nose, all the way to my forehead here, my cubic bow, and in my chin. And that's just going to brighten up those areas, and again, just add some dimension to my face, kind of like contouring. Alright, next we're going to set. Alright, so I have two setting powders here that I have been using lately. This one, the drugstore one, is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and I'm in the color light medium, 20 light medium. So this is a really good setting powder to set underneath your eye and your eyelids, but I would not use this to set your whole face. I've used this to set my whole face, and a thin layer you can get away with, but I like to really set my face and put a lot of powder. This could look really cakey in your entire face if you use it to set your entire face, okay? But I would just use this to set underneath your eye and on your eyelid. But the one that I absolutely love, and I have been loving lately, is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is not cheap. This over here I think was like $6. This is not. This one I think was like $38, but there's a reason for it. Like, there's so much product in this container. It would take me, like, I would say like 2 years to go through this, and this, I think the expiration is like 12 months. I gotta use this. It is so worth it. It makes your skin look very airbrushy. You can apply and apply and apply in your face, and your face will not look cakey, and I love applying this all over. So you do not crease underneath your eye. So you do not crease underneath your eye. You're going to get that same beauty blender. This is really key, and I say this in my concealing my video where I show you how to conceal, use that tip into and put it into the loose powder. You're going to get that about that amount. And you're going to use that to set your under eye and your eyelid. Look at that. Some people bake, and bake means that you put a lot of this powder underneath your eye, a lot, and let it sit there for a few minutes, and then you wipe it off. So baking means that you put enough powder in your under eye or somewhere in your face where the heat of your face actually kind of seals that powder into your skin and it doesn't go anywhere, okay? That means baking. So yes, I'm telling you, we're baking in our face. Who came up with these terms? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever baked. I guess that's for somebody who really uses a lot of concealer. So if you use a lot of concealer, you are, you know, more likely to crease a lot. So you bake so that you don't, you know, crease. So we're gonna do it on the other side. See, that would be kind of like baking. I just did it accidentally. And then you would leave that there. And then wait, like, do the rest of your face, and then 5 minutes later you would wipe it off. But I don't really care too much about baking. This is like an everyday look, so I don't bake every day. Maybe for a special occasion. There you go. People do that too if you're putting eyeshadow that's dark and it has fallout. You would put like loose powder in the bottom so that when the fallout from the eyeshadow that you put on your eyelid falls on your cheek, it actually falls on the loose powder and you could just wipe it off. I've done that. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other end where my foundation is, and I'm going to dip it back to my powder, and I'm going to set this in the problem areas of my face, meaning the areas of my face where I tend to be more oily, and because I'm more oily in those areas, the foundation is more likely to be, you know, to come off or to like fade off because of my oil. So that would be like my chin, that would be my nose, and that would be my forehead. So I'm going to use this this powder to set those areas so that they do not, to seal them, and they last all day. You see? Now this is why your powder has to be translucent or the color of your skin, because if you set with a powder that doesn't, just leave it right there, Bobby. If you set with a powder that doesn't, whoops, then your face is gonna be like white. All right, and now I'm going to set the rest of my face, but now I'm going to use a brush. I used a brush for years to do my foundation, and brushes for foundation, in my opinion, they leave streaks in your face. They do not let your foundation melt into the skin and look very natural. It looks very streaky. So that's why I don't like using a brush. If I'm in a hurry and need foundation on my face quickly, I'm not gonna go grab my beauty blender because I have like 5 minutes to do it. In my 5-minute makeup video, I use a brush. So if I'm in a rush, I'll do a brush. It rhymes. But if I want it to look nice and to last the whole day and I have the time to do it, that's when I use the beauty blender. But to set my whole face, I am going to use a brush. This is the F05 Small Contour Brush by Sigma. And this is literally, I'm going to use this to just set all on my face. A nice thin layer. See, if I were to use this, use my, whoopsie. See, if I were to use the Fit Me to set my whole face, it would look so cakey. Yeah, so only use that one to set the under eye and your lid. All the way down. And that's it for foundation and concealer. Now I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I just finished doing my makeup, and the last step that I would do for my foundation and also to lock in all of my makeup and all the hard work that you did is to use a setting spray. There's tons of drugstore ones that you guys can use. I have let you guys know of a few. The one that I have been really liking lately is the Hangover 3-in-1 by Too Faced. This is by no means cheap. This is a travel size one. It was $15. The full size bottle, I think it's like 32 bucks. But honestly, I think this does a great job at locking in your foundation and making it last the whole day. So I just get it, I shake it up a bit. And I just put it just a couple of, you know, maybe like 8 inches away from my face, and then I just spray it several times. let it dry, and literally I can feel this setting spray setting my face like nobody's business. Like, it dries and you can actually feel it. You get used to the scent, you get used to the feeling throughout the day, but it helps it lock in and last the whole day. This concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Also, I want to ask you guys a question. What has been your go-to foundation lately? Mine, like I said, was the L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation, but what has been like your go-to foundation and why? So put that in the comment box below. I would love to hear your answers and actually even try some of the foundations that you guys have mentioned. Okay, all right guys, thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day. Bye. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys to take the time out of your day to watch them. I have 3 things that I want to share with you guys really quick. Number 1 is, if you don't know, I accept prayer requests, okay? So if there's anything that you're going through or anything that you want us to pray for over you, let us know. I have a prayer list that me and my kids pray for every single day. So if you want me to add you to your prayer list, by all means, just contact me either through email or social media. All those links and all that information is below. So contact me, we'll absolutely add you to our prayer list. Number 2, if you have an Instagram account, you should totally be following me. Why? Because I go live Monday through Friday, and I actually have a small devotional or a Bible study that lasts anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. It's super exciting. We have so much fun, and I would love to share that with you guys. So again, follow me. All the information is below. And number 3, if you guys don't know, I own an online shop where I design and sell graphic t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing today. This is our Faith Greater Than Fear, and actually one of our #1 selling t-shirts. And our t-shirts are super soft. They are made out of a tri-blend material, which include rayon, cotton, and polyester, which makes them super duper baby soft. You would want to live with them all day, every day, like I do. So all that information I will put below, so you can check out my shop and also follow us on Instagram. Alright guys, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that thumbs up button so that I know that you guys like these videos and I could do more of these. Have a blessed day, and I will see you later. Bye.